Sarah left
I
for
I
a
got
while.
this brand new dragon egg.
Huh?
Isn't that
Oh,
cool? It's a dragon egg. Well, I'm gonna paint it into a dragon egg anyway.
oh, okay. I thought it was a pine cone.
I oh, I think it's supposed to be. It's from Pure One, but I got it. Their stop shop, thrift store. Jesus, I can't talk. The thrift store.
Oh.
Ooh, save money. Same thing with my
Ooh.
broom. Did you see my broom?
Yes, I did.
You like it?
Yes, I do.
If y'all hadn't seen it, make sure you check it out.
Seen it.
It's on
Oh,
Tickety
your little
Tockety
short.
and on YouTube. And I think I
Okay.
might even post it on Insta.
One bite.
This little talk. Oh no, I got a reverse candle. Oh my God, look at that. Do you see
Uno
that?
reverse.
Oh no, what a weird omen. I was just trying to get the booger down. Do y'all see this? Look, that's the bottom of the candle that got lit when I was just trying to melt the wax to make it stay.
Oh,
Wow,
that's pretty cool.
Mercury retrograde. Whew. Well, this is nuts. I was not expecting this. I put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my gosh.
You know who sings that, don't you?
Misty, Misty.
Yes.
You did. Are you
Elliot.
surprised I knew?
I don't know how I'm going to do this. I just feel I'm not confident with it. I need to maybe change its holder. I don't think it needs this type of holder.
Oh,
That's not going to work either.
that's the song.
I know I'm about to turn my life upside down with that interview tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of that makes sense. I'm going to end up getting that job and it's going to change all of our plans. Watch me not want a baby no more because of that. If I get a job I really like, I'm not going to want to let it go. I already did that once in North Carolina.
Well, you don't have to let it. Well, all right. Have your hubby stay home.
Hell no. I already did that once. Look how that turned out.
Well, different person, different circumstances.
You guys, I'm in a predicament here. Like, I
Oh,
cannot
just
continue
sit
doing
there and
this.
hold it.
What a weird thing to happen.
Yeah, there's
I'm
also a
gonna have
saying, don't burn a
to.
candle
I
on both ends.
I was just trying to melt it.
Can
Man,
you use a different candle?
you know, I feel like this one's lit for a reason. So I feel like I gotta see it through, whatever that means. I
Sit
mean,
there and hold it
I
then.
don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I need like some scissors. I feel helpless. Help me, sis. You're supposed to be here. You can't
Oh,
help me
really?
over
No, you did not.
there.
You are so silly.
Oh no, I
It gets
tried.
kind of stuck, huh?
Go back.
No.
I'm busy
Nah.
at the moment. I'm babysitting this candle. Like I'm babysitting today, apparently. I
Oh, we
don't
picked the
want to
name
blow it
out.
out. Huh?
Come on. It's not Sire. They wouldn't agree to that. Nobody likes Sire but me. Name's Tom
Fire. I
Oliver.
like it.
I did too.
It was nice.
Tom Oliver. Uh-oh.
Man, I'm gonna have to blow it. Oh, that sounds awful. I don't want to blow it.
Well, then just sit there and hold it.
I don't want to ruin my opportunity. This is something you got to work for sometimes. You have to put the spell into work and the work into witchcraft and stuff.
Sorry for the noise. The cat kitten jumped up at me. Stop that.
I gotta hold on to what we got. Okay, let me just like.
I was thinking of that song earlier.
Telepathic.
Living on a Prayer.
We telepathic. So I don't know. I guess I am babysitting this candle, but that's a long time. I gotta find a plan B. Sister, what are your ideas without blowing it out?
For hold it. You'll be all right.
But I need my hands. I need my hands. I got things I got to do with them. And I can't. Right. I'm gonna cause a fire. I need to be safety first. That's what we're gonna have to do. Safety first. All right. So I'm gonna have to carry this torch, not putting it out, but carrying it. And we're going to relight something that has happened in my past, and we're going to bring it forward with that. And we're just carrying the torch. We're just going to pick up where we left off with this job interview. And then we're going to have to bring some things to an end in order to begin again.
Stop.
Magic.
Sorry. I believe in magic.
So that's what we did. We did plan B. We just going to work with whatever comes in our path. And then this is something we might pick up again later on another day. That's going to be your witchcraft of the day segment. With I had to do a 3-card reading real quick. We're just going to be all backwards today. We're just going to be backwards.
That's all right. You started with the candle. We'll just keep going with it.
Well, I like to start one from the beginning of the episode, but I just got caught up in the moment, I guess. I just followed my heart's desire. So I'm going to do this is going to be a Mercury retrograde reading, because with that, when that happens, it's like Mercury is passing Earth, but it looks like it's doing it backwards. So everything is backwards, which kind of really makes sense to what happened with our candle. And they say it's like it's really bad time for traveling. There's going to be like travel delays, train delays, and also the god Mercury. And the god Mercury, his job during this time from August 23rd through September the 15th is to guide people to the underworld. So there's a lot of chaos during this time. As you could tell, things are going backwards, like with my candle. And with this episode, because like we're starting from the backwards to the beginning. I mean, it's just really weird because I did plan on talking about the Mercury retrograde, but I was not planning on doing that. But with the whole Mercury retrograde it's self-awareness. So you want to take this time and like really reflect on what's going on in your life, and just reflect. And then this is a good time to visualize how you want to move forward with your current goals. but they say not to start anything new, as that could be a bad timing type of thing. But as you can tell, maybe that's just a warning to me. Maybe I shouldn't take this job opportunity, but I'm gonna see what these cards say so I can have a little bit more clarity. We need some clarity. All right.
There's a lot.
So I do yeah, there's a lot going on there, wasn't there, this episode?
Mhm.
But let's do the official beginning. Hello, everyone. It is your girl, Pearl.
And Stacy on the side. Hey.
Hey. Okay, so we're back at it again. This is back to basics. So we're picking up where we just left off, and my past is the Ace of Pentacles. Next, the Moon. Ooh. Uh-oh. And the Four Cups. Look at that sneaky little mouse tiptoeing, being very cautious in the future, huh? Well, that was a good reading.
Okay, let's dive into it.
All right. You ready for some tea?
Let's go.
We'll talk later
Start
about
one.
these. We'll talk later. All right. I need to brush up. It's been a while. Like we're saying, it's back to basics. It's been a while since I've been into my craft, and so I am going from the beginning. And it's also a good time to go forward with this episode. Okay, so let's get back to that reading real quick. All right, so I had the Ace of Pentacles. Like I said, it's been a while, guys. Like, I'm really rusty. I've been looking into palmistry lately because I uploaded a video on there about that on YouTube. And I think I try to upload everything, at least some version of it, but now it's a good little TikTok. I love TikTok's like video editing. And so they have a little button where you can save it exactly like that before you post it without having the watermarks on it. And that helps make your other content when you post it on like your Instagram or your YouTube look like original content, without having that watermark. But Ace of Pentacles, the beginnings, perfect timing. Like I said, it's a good reading. We're going back to the basics. We're having new beginnings, and we are diving in, like it says, in the center even of a giant redwood tree, a tiny seedling once stood. Such the energy of the Ace of Pentacles. It is the seed that takes root, grounding for the future. You're in the beginning phases of a prosperous venture. Stay grounded. Go outside and take some time to appreciate nature. You may find this a windfall of wealth headed your way. And which is good because like this job interview that we're talking about has a good starting pay, like the highest I've ever made. And I'm really excited and I really hope I get it. I've been manifesting for this little job to appear out of nowhere, and it did. And I've been working and manifesting and visualizing it for the past 2 weeks. And all of a sudden, something just told me to check, and then boof, there it is. Like, yes, that's my stuff. I love it. Yeah, I know. Look at us. We're doing like a flashback, like back to the basics, like back to the basics of everything, music, candles, like we're doing it all. So the moon, that was my other card. It's about vivid fears and dreams. In many ways, the moon card encompasses the idea of the wild unknown. It is the shadow realm, the place where dreams, fears, and mysteries are born. Much darkness can linger here, and if you aren't careful, this can lead you to periods of anxiety, self-doubt, almost as though you've lost your way in a house of mirrors. Great artists have roamed this inner landscape. It is where the imagination and creativity drift freely upon the midnight air. So as you could tell, I was really nervous at this episode. I've been really nervous today. As soon as I came home, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I need to get a resume together. I need to bring my portfolio, show all of my works and stuff. Oh, so it's just been a lot of nerves on this. And like I said, these readings really hit, like how relevant it is in your life and what you're going
Yeah.
through that exact moment. Um, I absolutely love my tarot card readings. They definitely help me through a lot of tough times, honestly, they do. I guess you could say it's your little witchy Bible. This is your way of talking to your gods, and this is their
Yeah.
message to you. So the Four of Cups, greed and discontent. An outsider would look upon your life and see supportive relationships, pleasures, and even a bit of luxury. Oh no, this is probably true. This happened over the weekend. But if you don't see it that way, instead, there's discontentment, apathy, and even grief for more. The Four of Cups warns not to take your situations for granted or the people who supported you along the way. Look around. What are you truly longing for? Name it. Ooh,
That's an interesting one.
it is because it's like, oh, there's a neighbor issue,
Oh.
and I helped a neighbor of ours. She said I gave her some clothes that just no longer fit me, and she expressed to me how she didn't have any back to school shopping, like her parents didn't take her, and
Oh.
her mom, her stepmom has a bad habit. Dad only has $200 to last them for 2 weeks. And so I
Oh,
was like,
wow.
well, I was like, I got an extra $100. Let's go get you some stuff. So I took her. I mean, this is her junior year in high school, and my
Oh,
son
wow.
done broke her heart. My son broke her heart. So,
Oh, okay.
but she's still a neighbor of ours, and that's family community. And I always try to help, especially kids, if they're in situations that is
Yeah, they
beyond their
can't help.
control.
Yeah.
And this is a good episode for back to basics, back to school, and you know, um, back to
Reality.
beginnings
No.
too. It's new beginnings. It could be even new beginnings for kids when they want to dabble into this stuff. And a lot of times when kids are interested in or learn about something, it's learned behavior. It's either they learned it from their parents, they learned it from school, they learned it from a friend, they learned it from a
TV
cousin,
show.
a neighbor. Have you seen that little viral video, the little boy, and he's performing a baptism on his bear in the bathtub? It's so
Oh,
funny and
wow.
it's so cute. Yeah, it's so cute. He's
Uh-uh.
like, oh, Jesus. And I was like, oh no, he's getting into it. Um, and that's learned behavior. He's seen that at church. And so
Yeah.
he's being interested. He's showing signs. Like, hey, I'm interested in this. I like this. Let's explore this more. And but there's also parents. You have to learn that you are your child's first teacher. Okay. You are, however you look at it, you're the child's first teacher. And when these kids are telling you something, you should really listen and investigate, no matter what it is. It could be from, like, let's just say if your kid is seeing a ghost or hearing spirits or something in that nature, right? And they're telling you, like, hey, mom, I
Or a
see this man,
monster
and,
or
and and if they're little, yeah, they're not going to say ghost because they may not know what a ghost is. They're going to say something like a man, a shadow, a woman, a little kid, a
hearing
little boy, a
voices.
little girl. Yeah, or seeing things and playing with things. And I mean, now there's like video cameras in people's houses like 24/7. So now we're starting to see more evidence of that. As before, it was just the whole he said, she said stuff where you would see like ghosts and deities like pulling on kids' clothes or something or pushing them, and you can see like the force of
Yeah.
something, causing that child to fall or steal their toy or something in that nature.
And that's scary.
Um, Right. And even if your child starts talking about like even another life they had, really investigate that. Look and you get as much detail as you can, like how the cars looked like, if there's airplanes at this time, and research the land that you're onto when it comes to like kids saying, "Hey, I see a boy or something," investigate that because for one, there really could be a man there, or like there really could
Yeah.
be a stranger lurking outside of your home. So you definitely
That's
do
the
want to
scary
investigate
part.
that. Exactly. And that's why I said parents really listen to your kids, what they tell you. Um, because the little children, they're so innocent, they're so pure, and they're still like transferring from one life into a new life, and they're still figuring out which is which, especially
And
when
a lot
it
of
comes
them
to
are
like
still
children
very innocent.
with their past lives. And there's kids that reported, like he was a pilot, he got shot down, this is where his plane went down, this was his name, etc. And
Buddies that he
you would
served
have to
with.
investigate that. Yeah, yeah.
I
And
saw
like
that.
if you're seeing, yeah, I'm trying to use more common examples of this. That's more videos have been around so we can talk about it and people can go look into it too.
Reincarnation.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
even if your kid is telling you that they see like a little boy or something, you also want to research your land, research your house, research any murders or any deaths that had happened in your house or on your land. A lot of times there's Indian burial grounds and it's very sacred. Um, and then just really look into that, really investigate everything. First, start with your physical plane. Is there anyone physically there? And then that's when you start digging more into the spiritual realm. And then you can talk to your kid. You want to be age appropriate. And we know kids, they all go back to school and they talk about things with other kids, like that's just what they do. Oh, we do this for Christmas, we do that for Halloween,
Mhm.
we make our costumes, we buy our costumes, whatever. That's just kids do that stuff. Um, so you want to kind of be careful with what you say. And I say when children, it all depends on each child. Each child is different, like how you were saying last episode, sis, how your daughter acts more like your son's age versus the age that she acts or supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
So it all comes down to age appropriate things. And it all depends on each individual child because each child is special and unique in their own way. And you want to guide them because remember, you are your child's first teacher. Um, and it's your duty to teach them about everything, even different spiritual paths, as some of them might start bleed over and your child sees you at your altar or something, and they're interested and they're, wanting to know about that. And I think it's good if you do, you teach them and explain to them what each thing is. And you can do age appropriate activities and everything with these kids, and teaching them about it. But like how I was saying with the whole school thing and what kids say. So if your child sees you doing a spell, for an example, um, your child's going to ask you, "What are you doing?" You probably wouldn't tell your child you're doing a spell because what monkey see, monkey do, right? They're going to repeat and do things that mommy says. So you want to say, "Oh, I was just doing a little blessing," or "I was saying a little prayer." You want to keep it age appropriate. So when they do go back to school and they do start talking about that stuff, you know, it can be a
Mhm.
little bit more, not so much of a witch hunt, that you'll have to deal with, or your kid getting bullied, or attacked for being that weird kid who brings rocks in his pockets to school when it's actually minerals and gemstones and stuff like that. Um, so it's good to explain to them with everything. And there's so many different things that you could do that's age appropriate for them. From the very beginning, you just go outside. That's where you can learn the most, really. You have everything out there from you planting seeds to harvesting what you seeded and go ahead and making a product out of that. For an example, like maybe soaps or jams or any types of lotions or even candles if you have bees. There's all kinds of harvesting and different ways to preserve and make things with that stuff. And you can also incorporate like your wheel of the year stuff into these little fun activities. For an example, like during Christmas time or Yule, if you celebrate Yule, I mean, if your child's a little bit younger, I would say maybe some call it Christmas and some call it Yule, and you can explain that to a child, and you say, but what we're doing is a Yule log, and then you can sing that Christmas song with the Yule log, right? So that way it's not getting the kid any weird vibes at school. But people are being more open to different things these days, I think, anyways, don't you?
Depending on the area.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like with like how my daughter, she's into like the witchy stuff like me. I bought her tarot cards because she was age appropriate. She was in her teenager years. So we got her something like that versus whenever my nephews came over, I gave them some gemstone rocks because, it's age appropriate. They like that stuff. Considering they were coming here to West Virginia where we're talking about coal and everything. So it's just, right there at it. And her son actually, he is into that stuff. Like his gemstones and whatnot. Is he still doing that, sis?
Frosty. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We would go into
Yeah.
the store, and I always tell them that they could pick whatever they feel is connecting with them or what they feel like they're being drawn to. And yep, every time. Sometimes it's a little overboard, but they got some beautiful stones.
And
And
something that you can do with them is to take them to a gem mine and have them like shift through the rocks and find the ones that are
I was
really good
looking at
minerals.
one would probably be into it, but the other one would be like, "Can we leave now? Can we leave now?"
Well, that's fine. And then you would just distract him with something else. You would talk to him about other things, like maybe the animals that are outside or something. Maybe you could conquer and split and divide. One go this way with one child, one goes that way with the other. That's what me and my husband did a lot with ours. But yeah, you can teach your child even about like the life cycle, and that's just from going outside walking because you're bound to run into some type of carcass out in the wild,
Ah,
Well, it's true. And
wow.
that's a good
Yeah, it
way
is. I
to
never
teach
thought about
them.
it, but yeah.
And you
Wow.
teach them about death and you show the child how the ants will come and eat off of it. Sort of like Lion King, right?
Circle of life.
And the
Everything has its
circle of
purpose.
life. Yeah. And other animals eat off of that. And then you can even show them like the nest and the deer dens and where these other animals live and show them all of that different things. And it's just being really in tune with nature. And that's just getting grounded. And you can even teach your kid to go outside barefooted. Remember when we were kids? That's when we did it the most, going outside barefooted as kids. That was so important to grounding. And
And
we
nothing
had no
hardly
idea
hurts your
at the
feet.
time. Yeah, and you didn't know it at the time, but how beneficial it was to you as kids. And that's why we were so energetic, because we're recharging our bodies. But yeah, you can show like the babies, like you'll see like little baby deer with their moms. You'll see other little animals like birds and little ducklings. You can teach them how they grow and take care of them. And you can even do like scrying, right? You can do scrying with your kid if your child is interested in that stuff. And you can just go outside and look at the clouds, right? And just like, oh, that looks like a unicorn, or that one looks like a
Yeah,
kitten, or
I like that.
that one looks yeah, like a midget or something, you know. Um, I love my midgets. We love you. Okay. So um, and even in water, like they can even do scrying in water, but instead teach them to look at like the reflection and how it mirrors our reality to that reality. But there's always some type of differences, even though it's the same. And you can even show them like the ripples with the time and distance and how one action has an ever reaction, and it's showing like karma. You know, there's all kinds of little things that you could do out in nature with your kids. And back to yourself too, if you've been a little rusty, this is really good for you too, not just your kid. You can even like build an altar with your kid, and you don't have to go and buy no fancy thing, you know, with your big old dragon egg, you know, that I got at the thrift store, you know, that's originally $25, but I got it for three. So, um, you could just get things from outside. You can get you a feather, pick that up. You could put that on your altar representing air. You can find you a nice little rock or a mineral, whatever is available out there to you. Usually there's a lot of quartz, marble. You'll see that a lot outside, especially on
Yeah,
walking trails or something. Um, you'll see some cool stuff if you just like go on one of your state parks or something, and it's free too to go there. So you don't have to pay anything to go into most of them.
just be
You can
careful
get
if you take
sticks.
anything. You gotta watch that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Certain
If
things,
you
but like
find
things like
something
this, like a rock, a stick,
yeah, I was reading up
it's
on
fine.
taking up the kids
Like,
to Jim, what do they call it?
yeah.
Hunting rock or something like that. Hunting stones, stone
Hmm.
hunting. They say there's a lot of them by water, bodies of water, because of how the water rushes and it's always turning and moving. And you'll find a lot of
And
things
the
on there.
shells, yeah. And like you'll even find seashells, and that's part of life too. With all of those little shells, you can find acorns, and those are things that you could take back and build your altar with that, and it represents something. Those shells will
And
represent the water.
it's peaceful, very peaceful. So if you are stressed, even if you go by yourself for little walks, not too far, not at night, because unfortunately you always have to remember safety. You know, wear insect
Yeah,
repellent because
or yeah, even at nighttime, you know, you can do some stargazing, and then maybe you have a little cosmic witch child. You never know. Like, and
true.
they're really into astrology, especially during this Mercury retrograde. So things are a little weird right now.
Have you ever explained how you got into this? Because you haven't always believed in this religion.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I
okay.
have. I've said
And
stuff in
how your
the
daughter got involved in it.
uh-huh. I had
It may have been a
uh,
while.
yeah, you can go back and listen, guys, if you're just now watching this on YouTube. Unfortunately, none of my older content will be able to go on YouTube because it doesn't accept that platform. And I don't have the time to try to do like over 60 hours of recording and editing, and which is going to make more, you know, because some episodes are almost 2 hours long. So we're talking about maybe 200 hours of
Yeah.
trying to upload that stuff. It's just not going to happen. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can go to an alternative station and listen to us. You won't be able to watch us. So that's why we brought this revival podcast out, because we are doing some video now, and we're heading in that direction. we're moving up a little bit, so I can show you guys things. I like showing you this stuff. Like you'll be like, "What is she talking about? Holding a candle?" And then y'all have been visualizing something completely weird than what it was. Like I lit like the wrong end of the candle. So I really like that. And as always, there's many ways that you can support us, and there's ways that you can do it for free. You can share our podcast, share it with everybody. The more people who are interested in this stuff, and they can learn from us. We try to be not too graphic. We want to make some episodes available for the younger people. Like maybe this one. This will be a good one for the younger crowd. Or even maybe just the parents if they want. I don't care. I know I cuss sometimes. I don't even know if I'm cussing or not half the time. So it just falls out.
that, that is how I am.
Yeah, well, that's how we grew up. I mean, we had the same parents that cursed like a
Cussing
sailor,
is normal
but he was a
conversation.
Marine. I guess that's even worse than a sailor, in my opinion.
Once a morning, always.
But you can also give us a review. Let us know how we're doing. We really definitely want 5 stars. We want to be able to help our ratings go up on our feedback there. You can also use other platforms to follow us and share those on other platforms too. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. Even though I pretty much post the same things on each platform. So if you follow me just like on TikTok, you probably have more on TikTok, to be honest with you. Because a lot of times I just forget sometimes, but I try not to. I'm trying to really focus and put all of my eggs in this basket. I
I
got a
do
lot of
not
chicken
do
eggs,
TikTok.
so now I really think about eggs in my basket. But yeah, there's other ways that you can support us too. If you're in the need of a tarot card reading, I got you. Just send me an email at wickedwayspodcast@outlook.com. You can find us there, email us, tell us what's going on. If you're bored, if you want to buy a service for somebody else, we can talk about it. Why not? I think I did my wrong password. Yeah, I knew I did. You can also join us on Patreon, but really I haven't put that much effort into the Patreon because I'm trying to find a way to upload videos. But I think now with this Zoom, I could probably upload a lot easier versus than before what I was trying to do before. So we'll see. Since this does have a link, I think that helps. So I can send people those links on the YouTube for, their extra content, like our bloopers or something. People love bloopers.
Then we have bloopers.
Yeah. And you can start supporting us easily from $5 a month up to $20 a month. But the more you pay, obviously, the more you get. And I mean, like even a tarot card reading that's personalized to you every week, if need be. As you could tell, it's really good. I'm really spot on. But yeah, I mean, there's pendulum readings. I have that, my beautiful pendulum. Those are always fun.
Pretty.
So yeah, I'll post the link to all of that goodies as always into our description of this episode. Sorry, I'm used to looking over here for my camera, but it's over there. Like my phone is backwards, so I keep going like this. So I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm used to it right there. Yeah. It's all backwards today. Goodness gracious.
See, that's
Everything.
what they.
Mercury. All right, Seth. I think Stacy has something in her stash.
Yes, she does. And because my kids and I recently went to West Virginia, and we even had some, I wanted to look at some properties of coal. Ah, okay.
Nice. Carbon.
Coal corresponds with the planet Saturn, and it is an element of Earth. It does have spiritual and crystal healing properties, along with, of course, heating, etc. So coal has been used for many things. Give me 1 second. I'm going through my notes. Hold on 1 second. Sorry.
You're good.
Thank you. Coal is
We're all
primarily
learning together.
yeah, I don't know a lot of this. Coal is primarily composed of carbon, along with other elements such as hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, and sulfur. I've always been nervous about sulfur, but there are
There is a
positives
lot
with
of
it.
gas in these mines. Yep.
Yes. Now, this is something I did not know. It is formed from the accumulation of plant material, such as dead trees, bushes, grass, vegetation. Excuse me. And as I said, it's been used for heating way before electricity.
Diamonds.
We're getting to that.
I know. Sorry, I'm excited. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. In spiritual and mystical traditions, coal is often seen as having grounding and protection properties, and it is sometimes used in crystal healing for the ability to absorb negative energy. I never knew that. It can
That is
also
good.
bring good luck for money, prosperity. Never knew that either.
I need to get me a new stash of coal.
Me too. Another trip. Another trip.
And they
As I
said coal in the
said, coal
stocking
has
was
been.
bad.
I'm sorry.
And they said that having coal in your stocking was bad.
Yeah, right. They just did not know. Again, even though coal has been used negatively lately, coal has been a long source use of energy for heating. Years ago, again, they did not have heaters, they did not have electricity. It's the fireplaces with the coal. That was a big one. I was surprised people use coal in fireplaces. It is here for a reason. Um, so we need to protect coal. We need to use coal. And the earth has made coal. So in my opinion, it's not a negative, it's a positive, especially if it absorbs negative energy. I never knew that. So
And it
if you don't
also
want
gives
it in
off
your home,
energy too.
I'm sorry,
And it
I
also
didn't
gives
hear you.
off energy too.
Yes. And every diamond you see, if it is a genuine diamond, just imagine how old, because it takes millions of years, along with other activities, to create a diamond within a coal, or a coal within a diamond, however you want to say it. But these are millions of years old. It takes millions of years. So the coal you might see laying around, if you have any where you live, millions of years. Just imagine everything, which of course you cannot see, but what that coal has absorbed and it's gone through. It's just really interesting to me. A lot of the gemstones and minerals and things. And if the earth creates it, it cannot be bad. How people
Yeah,
use it.
and did you know that in West Virginia was where the largest diamond was ever found? It is
I
called the
did not know
Jones
that.
diamond. It's
What is it
called the
called?
Jones diamond. Jones.
Oh, wow.
And it was 34.46 carats.
Good Lord.
34 and a half carats, y'all. That's a big old gem. And the person who found it, they just stuck it in like a little cigar box and they kept it there for many years. And then one day they just finally went to go check on it and see what it was because he just thought it looked cool. Um, he thought maybe a quartz or something, but it ended up being a diamond.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just to think about the natural coal you see is millions of years old. And that
It's pretty cool.
helped create it, trees, grass, plants. The earth is amazing. The earth is amazing. And everything, I believe, now we've added extra pollutants to our lives, but everything we need to survive healthy is on earth. We just need to take out some of the pollutants we've allowed into our lives and bodies.
Oh yeah, I agree.
That was my little stash for the day.
Yay! So coal, y'all. Get you
I
a
did
lump
not
of
know it
coal.
had any. I was shocked when I looked it up, to be honest. I figured I had to find something else. But it actually absorbing the negative energy, that is something because I can
So
be
would that
quite
mean you
negative.
needed like, well, maybe that's why they put the coal in the stocking because they're so negative. They're like, here, you need this to
That
get rid
could
of all
be.
that negative energy. Wow.
But if
Oh,
you do have
yeah.
it, make sure you cleanse it because it could fill up. Anything that collects can always fill up where it no longer helps protect or provide. So I would
And
say
then
at
there's
least
other ways you can cleanse it too. You know, you can put it in your moonlight to charge it and stuff like that too.
put it outside of the sun, say a prayer, asking for all the negative energies to go
And
out
when
into the
you're
universe.
done, yeah, you can just bury it in the ground when you're done too. Just give it back to the earth.
That's a good point.
That's what I love doing with all of some of my spells. You know, if it's something biodegradable, you know, then yes, I bury it. But if it
Take from the
was
earth, give
something
back to
like
the earth.
candle wax or something, I don't, you know, my candle wax, I actually saved my candle wax and I'm going to do something with it. I don't know what, but I've been collecting it. I might make something pretty cool. I have no idea. Or I could just make new candles with it. I have no idea.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Recyclable candles.
it's pretty cool. I think someone had that. They make that.
Oh,
And you
really?
take it and you flip it upside down. Yeah. And then as it melts, it recollects and it builds up in the tube. And then you'll just
Oh,
flip it
wow.
upside down. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Sorry, I have a kitten over here attacking me.
Yeah. So what you end up naming it again?
Tom Oliver.
Tom Oliver.
Bear likes
Huh.
Tom because it's got some white on it. Well, it's got a lot of white on it, but it's also got like a tabby color. And Tom from Tom and Jerry was also gray, so Tom. And it's a boy. But my husband likes Oliver. So Tom Oliver.
Yeah. Oliver sounds like a little mischievous.
It is. Because it aggravates the excuse me, the other cats. My other cats are my Sarah is 14 years old. And in human years, that's about 66. And the twins are 7 years old, and they're about my age. So they lay around a lot, so I get them too. But little Mr. Tom Oliver, I want to say probably about 3 to 4 months old. We found them.
I'm glad you're able to give him a good home.
Oh yeah, he goes to the doctor
He
soon.
just needs one more home in his future. Just one more. That's not his final home. You get on the ball and get your butt here, sis. Your time's running out.
Yeah, ow,
It is.
stop.
It really is.
So
So,
they're worse than a toddler. So that was Stacy's Dash for this week.
yay, Stacy's Stash. All right, guys, we're not perfect. And spoiler, neither are you. So we're doing everything together, and we're starting from the basics, and we need to get back grounded and refamiliarize again with our craft. And again, this is where that past, present, and future reflection moment comes in. It's like, okay, this is where I've been, this is where I am now, and this is where I want to go. And it's time for you to make some decisions and get prepared. But wait till after Mercury retrograde is over before you start new ventures. So you got until at least the 15th, I believe. Yeah, of September. So a couple more weeks, y'all. Oh, but that will be good. That'll be by the time I will put in my 2 weeks notice. Oh, good.
That is true. So
We're
see,
good.
it's all working out.
And also this week, we have, well, we probably already missed it on this episode, but maybe today, actually, you might still see it today, the full moon. It's also the super blue moon.
Blue moon. I've seen that.
A blue moon is where there's 2 blue moons within a month calendar time frame. So that's pretty exciting. And I think it might happen again soon. I'm not too sure. I need to go back and relook at it because I thought something else is happening next month. I'm not too sure what it is. Might be another super moon. I have to go look.
Sorry.
But
baby cat True Blood. Sure.
I think that's about all I have today. Let me look over here real quick and see what our episode of next week is going to be.
Okay.
I'll give you a little spoiler. Spoiler. So Stacy can get some ideas for her Stacy's Dash.
Yes, I will.
So
I'm gonna throw you off next week.
Huh?
I'm gonna throw you off next week.
I want to do incense. We're going to do incense. We need to talk about some incense and how the smell instantly ties you to a memory, like the first day of school. You know that first day of back to school smell?
No.
Ooh, I could still smell it from my memory. Smells like all fresh new clothes everywhere. All these perfumes everywhere. Leather shoes. Aquanet. I guess.
That's how far back my memories go. Aquanet.
Aquanet
Fly out
cigarette.
the hair. I don't see it or smell it hardly anymore. But yep, Aquanet. Then you got the gnats flying all around. You got to wave them away.
Yeah.
That's how old I am.
I remember Aquanet, but not the way you probably remember. I remember killing the bird with it on accident.
Yeah, we were talking about that just a couple weeks ago. That poor bird.
So what happened was, guys, I think I talked about this before in an episode. If not, I'll go ahead and talk about it now real quick since we talk about it. I grew up watching my sisters use Aquanet, right, to make their hair stay how they want it to stay.
No, it was stiff.
It was
your hair back.
Okay,
it was stiff.
Well, either way, it didn't move. It stayed. No. That's what I remember in my little 5-year-old mind. Okay,
that's why.
And I was like, yes. And so the bird had flipped his little head feathers up like that, and it looked cool. So I was like, oh, we need to keep it that way. So I got Aquanet.
I never knew why.
You didn't know?
Aquanet killed the bird for the freeze.
Yeah, and it killed him.
Young kids not knowing. That was
you didn't know. So that's why you have to be the parent and teach your kid all of these things. Back to the basics.
I feel really bad now. Now I feel responsible.
Well, it wasn't
I'd say it
you,
was
it
more
was
than the older
Kathy.
one. The hyena.
It was
It was more
Kathy.
of hyena.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah, her.
hyena?
Yeah, I forgot. I forget sometimes. But it's okay. I'm not saying last names. So don't be
Yeah.
a stalker, people. We're letting you in. You get this much, not all of it. Just this much.
Into our little club.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
In
why
our little
I've
coven.
never understood why. I was like, why would they do that? Now it makes sense. So it was a
Yeah.
parakeet, right? Was it a parakeet or a cockatiel?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
One of
yeah.
those.
Wow.
Yeah. It was an
Our
accident.
family has
I
had
didn't know.
animals. We're animal lovers.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a boo-boo. It's okay. Accidents
May he
happen.
rest in peace.
Yeah. So incense. We're going to talk about
Instant
incense
smells.
and how magical it is. All kinds. There's different types of scents and everything. And we'll get more into that next week, my witches. I'm pretty good at that. I
Oh
like
wow.
it. All right,
You are
everyone.
so good.
This is Pearl signing out this mug.
And Stacy on the side.
You got this all backwards. You forgot. That's the beginning. Stacy on the side. It's for the
From
beginning.
side, you do most of the talking, so
You say, and this is Stacy saying, catch you laters. All righty, everyone. Bless be. And then you say, bye.
Bye. Be safe.
Girl, listen
Be
to some old
kind.
episodes. All right, let's try this again. Action. All right, everyone. This is Pearl sounding out this mug.
Oh, and Stacy.
Saying, catch you laters.
I don't say that.
Bless
do I?
be.
Catch you later.
Yes, you do.